Names are more than sounds. They are little vessels, carrying prayers, destinies, and stories across centuries. Some were whispered over cradles, some were shouted on battlefields, some were written into law and psalm and stone. Tonight, 10 names step out of translation and into their original light. A fisherman called Rock, who learned to stand. A persecutor named Small, who shook empires. A shepherd, Beloved, who wrote the world's most sung poetry. A young exile who refused to bend, declaring, "God is my judge." Before we begin, look closer. James hides Jacob. Mary holds oceans of meaning, bitterness, beloved, the sea itself. Ruth means friend, yet her loyalty rewrote a family's future. Sarah, princess, laughter after despair. Joseph, he will add, a dreamer whose loss became provision. And John, God is gracious, the most common name of grace itself. These names did not survive by accident. They tether hearts to stories, and stories to truth. So when a name is spoken, on a passport, a prayer, a gravestone, listen for the thread it carries, the thread that leads back through deserts and palaces, prisons and vineyards, oceans and catacombs. Follow that thread with me. 10 names, 10 secret meanings, one tapestry. Mary carries layers, beloved, bitter, even sea. In Scripture, Mary is where surrender meets strength, a quiet yes that altered history. The name traveled languages and centuries because it holds the ache and the hope at once. Mary is love that refuses to flee, faith that endures misunderstanding, courage that stands at the foot of a cross and still waits at a garden tomb. To wear this name is to carry paradox, tenderness with iron in it, tears that don't drown, but baptize new beginnings. Beloved through bitterness, a sea that cannot be emptied. Joseph means he will add, increase. His story begins with favoritism and fracture, then plunges into loss. Yet every descent becomes a step toward provision. In prison, he interprets dreams. In famine, he feeds nations. The name Joseph signals a strange arithmetic, subtraction that multiplies, emptiness that makes room. Those who carry it often turn scarcity into strategy, grief into grain for others. He will add is not greed, it is generosity after refining fire. John is grace in a single syllable, the most worn pathway in Christian naming, passed from prophets to apostles, to teachers, to reformers. Grace that calls out in the wilderness, grace that leans on a shoulder at supper, grace that lives long enough to write light into darkness. Those who bear John often become doors, ordinary on the outside, opening to rooms of mercy. To be John is to carry a key named kindness. James hides Jacob, proof that names travel. Heel holder becomes pilgrim, rival becomes brother. In the New Testament, James stands steady. Practical wisdom, courage under pressure. The name remembers wrestling and renaming, then turns to build community. James is a bridge across languages and tempers, a craftsman of plain truth. It whispers, don't just believe, live it. Peter is a nickname forged into identity. Rock, not because he never failed, but because he learned to stand after falling. Brash becomes brave. Denial becomes devotion. The name Peter gathers the roughness of a fisherman and the weight of a foundation. A life set like bedrock, not flawless, but faithful. Paul means small, yet earthquakes follow him. The persecutor who becomes a messenger. Letters from prisons that outlived empires. Small is not weakness, it is channeling power through surrender. To be Paul is to travel light, write heavy, and turn opposition into open doors. Daniel is integrity in exile, a name that refuses to bend, even when lions breathe. God is my judge, turns fear into focus. Live clean before one audience. Wisdom, restraint, courage. Those who carry Daniel often learn that the quiet conscience is louder than any crowd. David means beloved, yet his life is no soft lullaby. Shepherd's hands, poet's heart, warrior's edge. His songs teach the world to pray its tears and triumphs. Beloved is not the absence of conflict, it is favor that survives it. To carry David is to carry music that fights for hope. Sarah is promise crowned with laughter. The title princess sounded impossible against the clock, until it wasn't. The name carries dignity that survives delay, honor that outlasts doubt. To be Sarah is to receive joy where cynicism stood guard. Ruth is friendship that chooses. Where you go, I go, not romance, covenant loyalty, work in the heat, risk in the night, kindness that ripples through generations. To carry Ruth is to make faithful presence your superpower,